When was the last time you went on stage and you killed so hard the person after you bombed? If you're doing that on a regular basis, people are going to notice regardless of what you have between your legs.
When you type on the YouTube search engine, women are funny, there are countless number of videos dissecting the ability of female comedians, the assessment of the problem with actors who advocate toxic social standards and forget what made them famous initially. The reductive statement of assessing one's ability based on their sex is centered basically on the assumed notion you have about the opposite sex anyway. However, some of the funniest characters in Hindi cinema, both in film and in series, have been aced by female actors. Many of them have a natural comic timing and ability with their dialogue delivery that has also lived on for so many years after the release of their movies or series. I mean, hell, some of my favorite creators online are also women. So when the announcement of the cast of Crew dropped, I was ecstatic because we were going to see a trio of popular commercial actors in a comedy of errors directed by Rajesh Krishnan, who last impressed with his hilarious film Loot Case. This is what we always wanted, right? That the commercial forces of Hindi cinema combined with talented directors who communicate the language of the audience and who simply get the beats of the punchlines we resonate with. The point is, however, does the writing of Nidhi Mehra and Mehul Suri rise to the occasion as these popular women join forces? I have to confess, it takes off, but it doesn't really soar. The film focuses on the trio of Geeta, Jasmine and Divya, played by Tabu, Kareena Kapoor and Kriti Sanon respectively, who are undergoing severe financial hardships in their personal life, as Kohinoor Airlines, the company that the trio work for, is experiencing financial crisis. Their salaries are long overdue and they find themselves reaching a breaking point, only to explore that there is a massive racket running behind the scenes of gold smuggling that only seem to fill the coffers of those in positions of power, namely the CFO and the chairman of the company. How out of desperation the trio partake in these illegal activities and experience short-term financial gains only for the cops to finally catch on to their plans forms the basic storyline of Crew. Will they be able to get away with it or reap the consequences of their actions? Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch Crew in theaters or not. The surprising supporting cast. I thought this was entirely going to be a film where the three female leads shine, but I must say that some of the supporting characters really add an entertaining flavor to the bizarre sequence of events. Diljit Dosanjh as the confident customs officer provides a level of sincerity in a movie that is mostly wacky in its pitch. He still has an ability even in the most mundane lines to extract laughs, asking for a follow back on Instagram or trying to convince Kriti that he has improved a lot since the first time. There is an endearing charm to the actor, and this also makes me really excited for Chamkila a few weeks ahead. The similar sense of ease and comfort is provided by Kapil Sharma, playing the role of Tabu's husband, and it's another example of the range Kapil possesses beyond just the over-the-top gags we associate with him. Tripti Khankar, playing the role of a customs officer determined to catch the trio, is entertaining as well. However, Garima Yajni, playing a Papa Ki Pari, the chairperson's privileged brat, has the funniest lines, and it's a performance that actually made me cackle the most. It reminded me of some of the sober dates I've been on, and the insane delusion and privilege is very much a reality. Product placement and lack of laugh out loud moments. Is it me or we have become too analytical to notice the shameless product placement in movies that are so in your face that you just have to talk about it? I mean, it's not as egregious as Shah Rukh Khan advertising Nokia Lumia 920, but it just reminded me how Gunpath constantly put in our face how they fulfill their budget through magic moments or My Glam. In Crew, Forest Essentials, Louis Vuitton and Agio seems to take over. This is more of an assessment of film production and financing than anything else, so I'll just move on. My only gripe with the film is that while I had a good, breezy and carefree time, I just did not have the mad, belly-aching experience that I had just a week ago with Madgaon Express. Yes, there are some gags that do hit the right note, but it felt like I was seeing a comedian who was great in delivering the punchlines, but he or she is not really that good of a joke writer. Like you remember Ehsan Qureshi from the Great Indian Laughter Challenge? His delivery made all the difference, and that's where the actors and crew really really do deliver. The film tries really hard to elevate the screenplay with its background score playing Choli Ke Piche Kya Hai as the trio is styled like a dream, but I just wish that these combination of actors were handed over better gags and lines, which could have made this not only a female-led effective comedy, but just an effective comedy. Great dynamic. I honestly cannot fault the three actors and the conviction that they have brought to their roles, in even elevating somewhat mid-gags. Kareena Kapoor as Jasmine plays a mischievous kleptomaniac who always is looking at her interests when found in a pickle. She is the part of the friend group who has the most disastrous ideas with a cheeky smile on her face. Tabu, while being the ringleader among the three, has some of the most badass lines, especially when having reached her breaking point, teasing Kareena about her age, shouting at a passenger who refuses to sit down, or her shocked reaction when the gold smuggling is exposed. It just made me conclude that I want to see Tabu as a gang leader in a comedy, like leading the comedy gang from Madgaon Express, or a character like Vijay Raz in Delhi Belly. She would absolutely kill it. Kriti also has her moments, especially when bickering with Kareena about who is responsible for the mess they are in, and even though social media is harsh on Kriti, she never in the slightest seemed out of place in this film. The greatest moments of a film are when these three share the screen together, versus when the makers make a half-ass attempt at exploring their personal lives. Speaking of which, premise and dispersed focus. See, the premise of this film has a lot of potential. You've got a rich businessman who has an airlines that is on the precipice of dissolution, employees who haven't been paid for months, and simultaneously the said chairperson is found partying lavishly. It's as if we haven't seen this story play out in real life ever. The premise can extract a delicious heist film that turns upside down due to the comedy of errors, but it never becomes the comedy for the ages, because the makers are adamant to spend time on Kareena's parents' broken marriage, a deadbeat brother that Tabu is fed up of dealing with, and a web of lies that Kriti is embroiled in. Because the film is adamant to lay specific focus on their personal lives, the actual heist at play in the last sequence of the film happens far too quickly and seems rushed. If the core focus was their goal to screw with the filthy rich, it really could have been such a tight-knit comedy with a very talented cast. So Crew is more like a carefree fun experience that you coast through versus something that made your belly ache with laughter. I guess this combination of actors is tough to come by, so I just expected more, but nonetheless, who isn't up for some carefree fun at the movies? And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about Crew. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle is right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.